Hello everybody, and welcome back for some more World of Warships, another off-schedule release. Today's going to be a 4-kill battle with my Nachi, and while we're sailing in initially here, I have to warn you guys ahead of time. There comes a point with about exactly 16 minutes left to go in the battle, where I switch over from recording from the replay to recording the live recording, because, like an idiot, for about the first 9 or so minutes or so, I was watching a movie on my second screen and I wasn't really paying attention to the fact that it was still on and I hadn't paused it. So of course Shadowplay recorded the audio from that, and while besides the fact that it would be a copyright concern, it would also be extremely distracting for you guys to have audio conversation going on over the top of the gameplay that's not me rambling on like an idiot like I'm doing right now. So at any rate, I re-recorded the initial opening part here from the replay system. And then I cut back in. It's kind of a jarring audio cutback. The video is just barely out of sync, but it's not that bad. The audio, of course, is way off because it's not lined up the same from between the replay and the live, obviously. So initially here in the gameplay, getting back to the gameplay in the actual video, end up sailing way out west, not really paying attention that the rest of the team is completely not following me in this direction at all, which ends up actually being okay. I run into an Atlanta, which of course is a problem, and he starts spamming HE off on me right away pretty quickly, which I had AP loaded from my last battle with Nachi, and it actually wasn't... This ended up not being as bad as I thought it was going to. I thought I was toast here, particularly when I start getting the collision warning in a second and realize that, yep, I'm not watching and I'm on full right rudder, and slam right into an island. And that's something else you'll notice about the replay system is the ARP ships don't get their special ARP voice. So that's partially another reason why I switched back over to the replay for the Arpeggio fans out there. So somehow I end up not taking massive amounts of damage here like I really should have. If they'd have pushed in after me, the Atlanta certainly would have been able to just rain fire down on me, and this probably would have been a non-video battle because I would have gotten wiped out, pretty early. However, they didn't follow me in, although I do take pretty decent hits there. But this is where I'm kind of noticing that, like, I'm the only player of my team that's west of our cap by like a 2 to 3 square distance, really. So I'm kind of heading back up north. And I'm going to swing back in towards where the rest of my team is, so at least if the rest of the team follows me up in the west, at least I'll have some mutual defense and other targets for them to fire at when they get up there, up the entire west side of the map, right towards our cap. Encounter a new target here, this Mutski there, so put a barrage off at him. And I'm just trying to get myself behind a little bit of cover from the Atlanta and the other ships. And like I said, they're abandoning the west and heading back into where the rest of our team is, which are all pretty well clustered together in a relatively decent mutual interlocking fields of fire kind of way. So another thing I don't really like about the replay system, I love that it has the chat and the typing and everything in it. It shows you your awards and your hits and everything. That's great. But it's got a kind of a jerky zoom in and zoom out, which I don't really like. And if you check the map and come back out of the map, the transition to the map and out of the map is a little jerky and weird. So that's another reason I switched back to the actual regular replay. Now coming up here, okay, well, 5 seconds for the audio switch, so I'll let you experience that. So there it is. So we're back on back to Nachi's actual voice and back to the actual gameplay here. When I finally realized I should probably go turn the movie off, and just in case this battle turns out to be good, which naturally it did. It's always the battles where I don't turn off a YouTube video or something else that I'm watching on my second screen that end up being the best ones. So I let the team know about the advancing 3 ships in the west there, so at least hopefully they notice that we've got some problems out west besides just all the guys out east. And our poor Shiratsuyu there is erased. So now coming up here, we've got the Atlanta, a Miyoko, and a Nagato coming up from the southwest. We've got torpedoes off that are going to actually end up being pretty good, crazily enough. I didn't think they were really had a chance. I fired them at pretty long range, and then that third one there from the left actually gets a really good hit on the Miyoko. Which you notice the Miyoko had almost all of its health when that torpedo hit it. And somehow it doesn't have a repair to use or something, because I get flood damage constantly right here until finally the ship goes down. Which is pretty crazy. I keep trying to rain some fire in, expecting at any moment he's going to use his damage control. He's also being targeted by somebody else, so I don't do all the damage on him. But while I'm continuing to try to rain some HE in on them and get a fire going, I'm getting HE hits, but all they're doing is damage, which of course is fine. I mean, damage is damage, but I'm trying to get a fire going so that I can turn my attention away from this guy and focus on the destroyer to the south. So I've got the range relatively figured out, and I keep getting hits, but no fires. So I give him one last salvo here, and then decide to just turn my attention away and let the other friendly cruiser over there deal with him. And it's kind of funny, because he actually never does use his repair, and in a moment, this will be the first time I've ever had this happen. Watch this. Watch how quickly I get 2 kills here. So that was not a glitch or an error in the replay. That actually happened. Those 2 kills happened so quickly that Nachi's, whatever her little kill saying is, overlapped, and it sounded like an echo. That's the first time I've ever had 2 kills happen that closely together. The double kill has to happen within 10 seconds, and I've apparently done it before, but I don't remember. But that's the first time I've had them happen nearly simultaneously. They weren't quite simultaneous, but they were really close. So that was pretty neat. I actually had given up hope that I was going to sink the Miyoko, and when I got it, it took me a moment in the initial battle to realize what exactly had just happened, because I knew I had gotten the destroyer, but I didn't realize what had happened until I went back and looked at the replay that I'd actually sunk the Miyoko at the same time from flooding. So I switched my attention back to the Atlanta, because the Atlanta's ability to spam shots in from pretty good distance is extremely frightening and really annoying. But luckily, the Belfast, or not the Belfast, never mind, it wasn't the Belfast, it was another Nachi. Fellow Nachi puts a torpedo into him and ends his reign of holy fire and terror and brimstone and such. And that almost clears up the west, except for the Nagato battleship over there that I kind of forgot about, until he reminded me right there with a massive Citadel hit. That kind of hurt. He knocked out one of my main, well, incapacitated one of my main turrets, didn't destroy it at least, so rather than burn the repair, I waited to see if I was going to take any fire hits. And just let the turret fix itself, and then realize, okay, that's what just did that to me. That guy back there coming up behind us. So, basically just trying to get to a friendly umbrella of cover fire here, and deal with the rest of these ships over here. We're down to just 2 battleships and a destroyer left to sink, and we can see where the 2 battleships are, and I know the destroyer is pretty close to me in the south, so the Nagato is just a little bit out of my effective gun range, so I'm going to switch back over and focus on this Colorado and this Mutsuki here. So the Colorado got detonated, so that's that for him. Not actually sure if it was... It looks like it was probably torpedoes. He probably had a torpedo hit him right under the magazine. Which was pretty sweet. Either way, I assume that's what happened. It would have been a torpedo right below one of the main battery guns. I launched my spotter, well, not my spotter plane, but my fighter plane, just for no real other reason than to maybe get the Mutsuki to fire his AAA at it and help locate him if he's hiding out in smoke or something. And get one hit on him in the aft section. That was enough to finish him off. He didn't have a whole lot of HP left, but a destroyer is a destroyer, and if there's a destroyer around and you're a cruiser, you shoot at it no matter how much damage somebody else has done to it. Because you put that sucker on the bottom. That's why. So all that's left now is the Nagato, and obviously by the title of the video and the fact that I already told you what was going to happen, you know what's going to happen here. Also, he got a pretty good Citadel on me, but clearly I'm going to get the last laugh on him, so... He's got about 54,000 health out of his 65 total here, and it's time to start raining some fire on this guy. He's already on fire from somebody else, and I'm going to do everything I can to add to it, see if I can get more fire started. While I close to, hopefully, torpedo range before I get utterly destroyed. He gets another pretty good round of shots in on me over the island. So now it's pretty much go for broke, do as much damage to him as I possibly can, hopefully get up to where I can launch torpedoes, although in order to launch torpedoes I'm essentially going to have to haul hard to starboard and fire off my port side torpedoes way out to the left and lead in front of the Scharnhorst so he doesn't run into the friendly torpedoes. So pretty much I just stayed on guns here to try to get as many gunshots in as I possibly can. Luckily I survived that barrage because that very likely probably would have killed me. You can see the Scharnhorst has got the same idea I have. Just pepper this guy with HE, set him on fire, and soak up all the fire damage you can tally. And you can see how much health I've got left here. Not a lot to go. Not a lot of HP left for my own ship. And in a moment, the key thing is about to happen. He's going to use his repair and extinguish all of his fires. Just a second. Luckily, he turns back away from me, which gives me the amount of time I need to reload and get all my guns ready. Without taking time. There it is. He just finally got his repair built back. So his fires are extinguished. He's down to 15,000 something HP. And is turning to go broadside on us. And I'm pretty sure here at this point, any one of these shots that hits me is going to kill me. Sure enough, it does. And with my second to last salvo I get off, I actually get a fire started on him. And it was just enough time that I knew he wasn't going to have enough time, or it was too far past his repair. And that's going to be it. As I said in the chat, come on, give me that fire damage. And luckily he burned out, and that was it. So, ended up being not too bad of a battle. 70,000 damage isn't exceptional, but it wasn't too bad, and I did pull off 4 kills, so not bad at all. The double kill was kind of the neatest thing that happened there. Took a first place, which didn't hurt either. Pretty good score, relatively speaking, without any kind of pretty decent damage on 2 of the ships I killed. Not great damage on the other 2, so it was kind of even. And I actually made some money on this one and got a decent commander and team score. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. Just to let you know, after next week, after Christmas, the video releases are going to slow way back down to probably 2, maybe 3 a week. So enjoy it while it lasts. Thank you guys for stopping by, and we'll bring you some more videos soon.